But I'll keep an ear cocked while I continue listening to the Mets here, who are kicking the Nationals' butts.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Um,
All right, I'm getting down to my document here so we could start. Okay, hello everybody. It is September, cooling down. No longer 195 degrees in Tucson. It's like 192 now, so it's really cooling off. And so yeah, without further ado, we're starting a little late today. No big deal. I'll try to get through everything on my outline like I normally would. So we might run through some stuff a little quicker than normal, but we'll get it all done. Don't you worry. All right. So unless you're John McCann, you should be on iOS 17.7. That was recently released. Okay. And if you're John McCann, then you go to 18. And just kidding, John. And that's the current version. Obviously, the 17.7 is the last version from the 17 series. And 18 is now available. It was available, I believe, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And it does not have any AI features in it yet. And even if it did, you got to have an iPhone 15 Pro or 16 to use them. So no worries. It's just going to be stuff, updates that we're used to. And that's what's going on there. Any questions on that, on iOS versions or what's going on? All right. You're going to make me go forward then. Let's see. What is my next one? Oh, now what's coming in iOS 18 as well, since it's coming. Apple has decided to make your phones even more secure from thieves. So right now, when you have your iPhone registered to you and you have an account, you can lock people out of the entire phone. But what they're finding is that they're no longer trying to sell entire phones. They're trying to do like they do with cars. They go and they hack them up and they sell the parts. Well, Apple got smart. And now they're going to do activation of the individual parts inside of your phone, as well as the phone itself, the assembly. So the screen will have a serial number. It'll be tied to you, the CPU, the battery. So if somebody steals your iPhone, the locked parts are not going to be able to work for anybody. So that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to almost eliminate that until they figure out a way around it. So I thought that was a very interesting thing for iOS 18. So you may not get your phone back, but no one else is going to get it either. So it's kind of halfway there, I think. So let's see what's next on my list here, by the way. Boom. Oh, and then did you guys watch last week's Apple event? And if not, I'll just give you a rundown of what they introduced. So unlike the event in summer where they're doing the developers conference, software and all that, they introduce hardware in this fall event to get you ready for Christmas, the Christmas buying season. So of course the Apple iPhone was introduced, 16. It's got a new capture button like I spoke about last week. And I think there is another part to this, and I'm trying to figure out AI. Oh, and it's AI compatible, and it's ready for whatever they throw at you as far as AI. It's got enough memory, it's got enough capacity, it's got a processor, the A18 processor in it, which is specifically designed to do this whole Apple Intelligence thing. So it's going to be a very good phone for that purpose. If you want to know the truth, I wouldn't update for the Apple Intelligence until you're ready to. It's still brand new. It's not even released yet. And you may want to give it a cycle or two before you jump on board. And by that time, maybe the iPhone 17 will be out. Maybe it'll be even a better phone. It's a bit better to wait. Or if you want to save money, you could buy next year's iPhone SE, which will look a whole lot like you know, the iPhone 14, you know, with a little island on it and everything. And it'll be half the price. It'll be, they're supposed
Wow.
to be under $500.
That's
So
what I'm hoping for.
so you get the Apple Intelligence in your hand for $500. You can't do that right now. That's $1,000 right now to do that, or $800 to $1,000. So that's kind of cool. So what else did they announce? Let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. Apple Intelligence. Oh, and they announced that Apple Intelligence is not here on the first 18 release. It's coming in 18.1 or even further. They're gonna phase that in slowly, which is probably a good thing, because you don't want to like throw everything in the mix right in one shot and try to debug it if there are bugs. So that's what's going on there. Apple Watch Series 10 has been introduced. It's the thinnest one ever, and it's got the first OLED screen, which means it's brighter, sharper. So it's flatter, but the face of it can be bigger, and you can almost type on it if you have small enough fingers. You can actually type on this thing. The whole keyboard will fit on there. So that's kind of cool. If you're a watch kind of person. And it also has some health stuff in it too. Trying to remember, sleep apnea people. It can help you track any kind of sleep apnea and keep you informed if that's what's happening to you. And then they're also talking about, what's the other thing that they were talking? No, it's just apnea this time. They were talking about some kind of blood pressure thing, but
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
FDA
thinking. Yeah.
hasn't 100% approved that. So it can track your sleep apnea, which is really good to have. The other thing are the AirPods. You can now use those as basic hearing aids now, and they've been approved by the FDA, I think it's the FDA. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can use those as hearing aids. You can do hearing tests with them to see how your hearing's doing. So they're more than just something to have a phone call, private phone calls, or listen to music. They actually have a health slant to them. And I think the last thing, okay, and that's it for the Apple event. That was basically it. There was more stuff, but it's a little things here and there. That's not really the big stuff.
Manny,
Yeah.
Barbara, the disadvantage of those being AirPods being hearing aids is they only last for 6 hours, where my hearing aid battery will last almost a week.
Yes, and that's my biggest complaint, and I think Patty can attest to that too, because I got Patty some AirPods, some pretty recent ones. And you know, they're so small and the batteries are small physically, and they just can't hold enough juice. So what you end up having to do, if you want to keep using them, you got to put one in one ear while the other one's charging, and then you swap them out, and that's the way you can keep them.
Oh, okay. So
You can do it that way, but they're so small, and you know, they're small and they're expensive because they're small. But then we haven't figured out the battery situation yet. So they are good.
There's Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
Yeah, I finally got this thing to come through.
Okay.
Thank you, Manny.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. Thanks for coming aboard. The last thing I have on my news bit is that guess who turns 25 this year? Anybody know?
Me.
What's that? Well, you were close. It's Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi standard was started 25 years ago, and now each year over 3 billion devices are shipped with this standard in there. Everything's going wireless. So yeah, it's been a roaring 25 years, and it's moving up and up and up. So those are my news items, and I hope that informs you of the latest goings on. Any questions about that? All right. So for emerging technologies, this is about cellular signals. Like, you ever heard the term 4G and 5G?
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, this is 6G. They're working on that. They
Oh,
haven't released
no.
it yet, but it's coming out. And they're going to need that to support all this AI stuff, because a lot of your Android phones and other devices out there, when they do AI, they're going to be using the internet connection a lot. The Apple phones are going to be using it less because they're going to be doing a lot of processing locally and only farming out stuff to the internet and when needed. But if these devices are going to start doing this, we're going to need a very fast internet or cellular towers. So when you're on your phone and your cellular plan, you can get your answers back in a reasonable amount of time instead of waiting. So 6G is the next standard, and what that means to I don't know, at the base level, is that they're going to change the frequency from 5G and move it up higher. And a higher frequency allows you to actually send and receive more data at one time. It's just, that's the way it works, the physics of it. Unfortunately,
Okay.
the signal doesn't travel as far, so they're going to have to install more towers to support 6G. So that's
Maybe.
what's going on with 6G, and I don't know if it's coming out in the near future or if it's stuck like another year, but it will be coming out, and that's kind of where that's at. And you can be guaranteed that 6G won't be the last. It'll just be the next step, and then there'll be 7G and 2000G, but that'll be long after we're gone. So, and that's basically that. It's just a cellular standard that's improving. So let's see here. Any questions on the news or working technologies? All right. It's going to go fast tonight, guys. Let me see here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about in the topics is this app that Barbara turned me on to. It's called InnoSearch.ai. Barbara, did you want to say anything about that before I go into the whole thing, or
Why don't you do your thing and then I'll add.
Okay. So I'm going to do the best I can to describe this. It's still fairly new to me. It's been about less than a month I've been playing with it. But what it is, it's a shopping site. And when you put something in to look for, let's say you're looking for, I don't know, bump dots, black bump dots or something, or computer speakers, or whatever it is you're looking for. So instead of just going to Amazon and seeing their prices, you can plug it into here and you can get the price of similar items, not the same ones, but very similar, from Amazon, from Best Buy, and it searches a whole bunch of stores. And then you get to see at a glance from many locations where you can buy these things. And usually you can buy it for a little bit less through this service versus Amazon. In fact, last time I was at Barber's and we were playing with this app, we found something, and it was like an $8 item or something, and it was 50 cents cheaper on this service, which was amazing to me. You would think that it would be cheaper at Amazon versus here. So it's interesting to see that happening. And we're probably going to see more apps like this where you can do, maybe it'll get down to groceries and things like that. I have no idea. But as we publish more of this stored data online and it becomes accessible to everybody, there's going to be apps that are going to take advantage of that and leverage that and be able to get you to find the thing with the best price, which is kind of cool. So before the class, I already put an icon for this app on my home screen. So I'm just going to tap on it and go right to it, and then we'll look for something, and then I'll go through it. You can hear it, and then maybe Barbara can comment if she wants to after the fact. So let me get my phone on here.
6:58 p.m.
I will turn it up just a little bit so you guys can hear me. Okay, let's see.
Calendar, Tuesday, Uber Eats.
Let me see here. So in
Uber Eats, page 2 of ADP Mo, page 3 of 4, NYT Cooking, page 4 of 4, accessible, Walmart,
hang on a
page
second.
3 of 4, InnoSearch AI,
So InnoSearch
Double
AI,
tap to open.
it's spelled INNOSEARCH.ai. You stick that into your browser and then you come up to it, then it'll show you the stuff. So I've got this this guy here on my home screen. I'm going to tap on it, and there's a whole thing where you log in and you give them your email and all this good stuff. And I've already done all that, so I won't waste your time here going through the registration process.
InnoSearch AI, web.
So give it a second here. It's coming up. It's got a little splash screen.
Web page loaded.
All right. So web page loaded. So you know what? It's a web page. So when I want to search for something, I'm going to go find the search bar at the top, and you can just swipe to it. You know.
Discount. Search. Search for a product or item. Text field. Search. Landmark. Search. Search for a pin. Found 0.
So I double tap on it, and I'm just going to look for I don't know, wired computer speakers. I don't know what else to look for, but let's just do that. So I'm gonna dictate that in there. Wired computer speakers.
Inserted wired computer speakers. Found 5 suggestions for wired computer speakers.
So
Found 5 suggestions.
Now, 5 suggestions means that I put something into the search argument, into that blank search bar, and then it found 5 more suggestions underneath that. If I swipe to the right, I can hear those suggestions. So let's do that. That's typically the way most of these search algorithms work. So let me do that now.
Clear search. Search button. Found 5 search. Wired computer speakers for desktop PC. Wired computer speakers with subwoofer. Wired computer speakers Logitech.
Okay, let's just do a one for desktop PCs.
Wired computer speakers with subwoofer. Wired computer speakers for desktop PC.
So that's what we're going to actually look for. So we'll do that now.
Navigated to results for wired computer speakers for desktop PC.
And we got here it
Found
is.
91 results for wired computer.
So I found 5 search results. I chose the one I wanted, and then it found 95 entries that matched that search result. So I'm just going to go to the first few, and then you can kind of hear what the screen looks like, if that makes any sense. So at the very top of the screen, on top of where the products are, it says this.
Results for heading level 1. Wired computer speakers for desktop PC. Heading level 1.
We keep swiping to the right with one finger with voiceover on.
Quotation mark.
Mine too.
Heading level 1. Sana NSW283 active Bluetooth 5.0 bookshelf speak.
See, and that's a wrong search result because I said wired, and Bluetooth is a wireless technology. So let me scroll down to the next one. And I think we can do it by heading. So if you go to the rotor and you switch over to headings, you can just swipe down one at a time, and you'll go to the next and previous items. So let me do that because that's easier.
Lines. Text selection. Speaking rate. Containers. Headings.
I'm on headings, and I'm going to swipe. I'm going to do a single finger swipe down.
NZX tier lay dual channel desktop speakers. 2-piece. White. Heading level 2. Link.
Let's go another one.
Computer speakers for PC wired desk soundbar with stereo sound LED lights supports Bluetooth 5.3/USB plug and play /3. Amazon basic stereo 2.0 speakers for PC or laptop 3.5mm aux input USB powered 1 pair black. Heading level 2.
All right.
Link.
So what all that means, it's 2 speakers,
Bye.
very basic, and you plug them into your headphone jack in your computer. That's what all that means. So let's see if there's any more information than that. And I'll swipe to the right instead of going down to the next one. Let's see what it says.
Free 2-day shipping. Retailer. Amazon. Image.
So it's from Amazon, 2-day
White
shipping.
text in front. Rating. 4.4 out of 5 stars over 68,000. Price. $14.01.
So $14, and I've seen these same speakers for almost $15, $14.99 on Amazon. So it's the same place, but it's $1 less here. And that's the power of this. I mean, after this, you just search whatever you want and then you find it. And then-
Okay, so put it like you're gonna get it in the cart.
Yeah, so as I was saying, if I wanted to do this, we would swipe to the next function here. Now, I don't have an account with these guys, so I'm just going to take it as far as I can without having an account and course, I'm not gonna put my credit card stuff in there over the air here. So let me just do this.
View price history for Amazon reduced by over 12%. Free 30-day return. Research on Amazon Basics. Add to cart Amazon Basics Stereo 2.0 speakers for PC or laptop 3.5.
So I'm gonna add to cart. Okay.
Right.
Added to cart. Amazon Basics Stereo 2.0 speaker.
Now, the thing that we noticed when we were messing with this app is that it's not 100% accessible. There is a cart icon that I had to visually use to find with the magnifier, but I'm going to go to it and you can hear what it says for the cart. I don't know if they've changed it since we last played with this, but let me get up there.
Free 2-day, page 3, page 2 of 70, page 1 of 76.
So let's see here.
Menu, search, search, wire, clear search, but link, image.
Link image,
An illustration of
that's actually the cart. When it said link image, we found out that that is actually the link to go to the
Shopping
cart. So I'm going to do that.
Navigated to cart.
Navigated to cart, and then this works just like any other app. We're gonna examine the cart. You can remove stuff, add stuff, blah blah blah, and then there's going to be a checkout button or pay or whatever it is. So I'm going to just let you hear the screen.
Menu button. Search. Current page. Home. Visit. Cart. Current page. Your cart. Heading level 1. Product. Row header. Retailer. Column header. Quantity. Price. Actions. Column. Amazon Basic Stereo 2.0 speakers for PC or Amazon Basic Stereo 2. Color. Column 1. Column 1. Black. Column. Size. Colon. 1 pair. Amazon. Quantity. 1 quantity. Price. Remove Amazon Basic Stereo 2.0 speakers for PC or laptop 3.
So that's the remove.
All products. Order summary. Heading level 2. Order summary. Subtotal. 1. Item. Right parent. $. 14.01. Rewards applied. $0.
I don't know what these rewards are. I guess as you start shopping with this app, you build up rewards as well. So that might be something that may interest you. So let's keep going. Just a few more things to hear, and then I'll let Barbara explain her experience.
Free delivery link.
So this is free delivery on this app, just like Amazon. So you're not going to pay any more. So we keep going.
Taxes and discounts calculated at checkout.
So since I don't have a profile with them, they don't know what zip code I live in. So they can't tell me my taxes yet. When I create the profile and put my card in there and all that jazz, they're going to find out, oh yeah, it's like 9 or something % here in Arizona. And then they will have that number on that screen here. It's not here right now for that reason. So we keep going.
Total before tax, $, 14.01, secure checkout, guaranteed safe and secure.
So there's a button called secure checkout, and that's where you go and you pay for it. And then of course they'll ship it. So that's basically the long and the short of the app. You can put more stuff in your cart, take stuff out, look for different things, but it's not bad. It doesn't have a bunch of clutter, which I kind of like. And it seems to be pretty, outside of the cart thing, the not having the right label on the cart for us to hear. It's actually a pretty good app, and I recommend it. We think it's safe. So Barbara's already done a transaction on it, and so
yeah.
I think it's okay.
So this came from Sam from Blind Light, and the advantage of this, if you notice, is the cleanness of it. It goes right to where you want to go. No more related products. No more you want gift items, all this other stuff. And it has 5 major retailers who pay for this. So they're like the middle guy. One other advantage is you don't have to have $35 to get anything from Amazon. And that's a big one. If you're not on Amazon Prime, that's a big deal. It also covers Walmart, Best Buy, Amazon. I may have 2 others, and I don't know what the 2 others are. but it's nice and easy to use. And I already got the thing I ordered today.
Oh, great.
They're already here. So I think it's going to be a real game changer
Screen dim.
for us who are visually impaired.
So if you
And-
guys want to peruse the site before the notes get published, again, it's INN, like the word in, and then O, and then the word search, all together. INNOSEARCH.AI. That's all you type in, and it comes right up.
This
So,
is Patty. So how do you handle returns?
don't know. That's a good question. I
Mm.
haven't gone that far with it.
We
So-
haven't done that yet, Patty. We don't know.
I assume though, if you're buying it through them from Amazon, it's going to be the same policy. But yeah, that's something to check out. Like buy something and then return it and see what happens. You know, I don't know.
Mhm.
That might be something that I need to check into if I.
Yeah, we never got that far, Patty. We never got that far.
Okay, well, great. Good question. So any other comments, questions on InnoSearch.ai? All right, then you're going to force me to go to the next item. So Barbara wanted me to go over this because there was somebody at TSB that was having problems with voicemail. So I'm going to show you guys how you delete voicemail. Right now, as of today, you can't use the S lady to do that. You can't use it. Let me say that again. You cannot use the S lady to do that. There we go. And hoping that one day she won't be able to do everything that we want just by voice. But until that time happens, I'm going to give you the step-by-step on how to go to and then delete one or more voicemails. Okay, so let me get out of this AI thing that was in.
7:11 p.m.
Hang on a second.
Web calculate page 3 of 3. Terms of service. Page 3. Terms of service. App switch. Inno's home.
Okay.
Inno's.
So now I'm going to open up the phone app because that's where your voicemail lives. So Siri.
Oh, Manny,
Open the
we
phone.
forgot to tell them how they put it on the home screen.
Phone.
Oh,
Tab
yes.
bar.
Okay, before I continue, when you find the InnoSearch.ai website and you want to be able to get to it quickly, we've talked about this in previous classes, but I'll just reiterate here today. You go to the share option on the toolbar, usually located at the bottom of Safari. There's like a previous and or forward or next, and then there's share and then bookmarks and then there's tabs. You want to go to the share option. It's like right in the middle, third button. Tap on that and then go down to share with your home screen, add to home screen. And then it's going to throw up a thing like InnoSearch AI or something, or shop, just give it a name or keep the name. And then you press the add button in the upper right after that. And then it's part of your home screen thing. Then you can just find it as an icon on your home screen. So that's how you do the whole process if you want to find it quickly. Okay, so back to deleting voicemails real quick. So you got to open the phone app. You tell the S lady to open that app up, and then the tab on the far right. And what I do is, I can't get to the tab with my voice yet. So I just come up from the bottom because I know the tabs are at the bottom. So I just come up from the bottom and see where I land. So slowly come up.
Tab bar. Selected. Recents. Tab.
So that's
2 of
recents.
5. Contacts. Tab.
So there's favorites, recents, contacts, keypad, and then voicemail. So I'm going to swipe to the right to go from the current tab I'm on all the way to the 5th one, which is voicemail.
Keypad. Tab. Voicemail. Tab.
And then you double tap on that to make it the current app, because you're not going to want to see what's on the recents tab in front of you. You want to see what's in voicemail. So you do that. Now, focus is on the tab name at the bottom. So how do you get to your list of voicemails? Now, I got an old trick that I show everybody, all my students. And what I do is I do a 2-finger swipe up, and that initiates an entire screen read. And then when you get to the list, you can just stop it with a 2-finger touch. I'll do that. So I'm going to do that now. Right now, I'm on the tab. and my list is above it. And the only way to really get to it quickly is to do it this way. So I'm going to do a 2-finger swipe up. Oops, try that again.
Doc, edit, button, greeting, button, voicemail, heading, Beth Anderson, phone.
So there's one. There's Beth Anderson. I can swipe to the right or to the left with one finger to navigate this list, just like any other list, like emails or text messages, conversations, whatever it is. So let's hear a few of the ones I have, and then we'll try to delete one. So I'm going to swipe over to another one.
+1 801 Dr. Rivas +1.
Okay, so there's a 1801 number. I know what that one is, and I've already taken care of that, so I don't need this anymore. So all you do, once you get on the guy you want to delete, you just swipe up or down with one finger until you hear the word delete, and then you double tap to execute the deletion. So we're going to delete just one. Let me try it right here. So I'm going to swipe up.
Share. More info. Delete.
So 3 swipes up, share, swipe 2, more info, swipe 3, delete. So I'm going to double tap on that, and then that will get rid of this voicemail, and it'll put it in the deleted messages area, which you can retrieve back if you need to. So let me do that.
Performed action. Delete. Doc.
And what it does, it deletes the current one you're on, and it says performed action, delete. And then visually, if you have any kind of vision, even low vision, the ones below it will come up and take its place. The one below it will actually move up. So you're probably wondering, how do we delete more than one? Okay, I think we do it this way. So let's get up there to the top again. Let's see.
Edit. Button. Greeting. Button.
So when I swiped up with 2 fingers, I hit this thing called an edit button, and that's how you do it. You hit the edit button, and you swipe to the right and get down to the ones that you want, and you start tagging them by double tapping. So let me show you.
Greeting. Edit. Button.
So first step is to tap on the edit button.
Done.
Okay. Now you're in selection mode. Okay. You can't hear them. You can't do anything. All you can do is select them or deselect them. Okay. And currently none of them are selected by default. So you got to go down and select the ones that you want to take the delete action on. So we're going to swipe to the right.
Greeting. Voicemail. Beth Anderson. Phone.
So let's say I want to do that one.
17.
So I'm going to double tap on that one.
Selected. Beth Anderson.
And it tells you selected. If it doesn't say selected when you first hear the entry, that means it's not selected. If I go to the next one, swipe to the right, that's what's going to happen. So we'll go to the next one and you can hear it yourself.
Dr. Rivas. Phone.
And that's all it says, Dr. Rivas. It should have said selected if I selected it, but it's not. So let's go to another one just for fun.
Beth Anderson. Phone. September's.
All right. So let's say I want to delete that one too. I'll double tap that one.
Selected. Beth Anderson.
So now, if you remember, I selected the very top one I went on, and then I skipped one, and then I selected another one. And then your options, I think you do them down here.
Toolbar. Delete. Button.
You go down to the very bottom of the screen, come up from the bottom like I just did, and then there's a delete option right there. You can just delete those 2. So when you do that, this happens.
Delete.
And then it's no fanfare. They just both get removed, and the ones that weren't deleted take their place in the same order. So it's not hard to do, but you got to practice a little bit. So, and that is the way you can delete one or multiple guys. I think also when the edit thing was on, let me just make sure, you could select all. Let me just verify that. Like if you just wanted to clear out everything and you don't want to tag each one, let me just make sure that's the case. Hang on a second.
Edit. Button. Done. Done. Button. Greeting. Button.
No, not on this one. So I was wrong. There's no way to do that here. So we're just going to hit the done button.
Done. Button. Edit.
In other multi-select scenarios, like other kinds of lists, you can actually, like an email, you can select all and then you can move them all to trash or do whatever you want to do. But you can't do that with voicemail messages for some reason. They don't have that option here. Okay, any questions about deleting voicemail? All right. Let me go to the next one. So my next topic is a brand new kind of thing. It's a show and tell thing. Let me get a sip of water here real quick. So I'm sure most of us know somebody with diabetes, okay? And one of the hardest things about being a diabetic is keeping your blood sugars monitored. There's some people who don't do it. There's some people who use the little lancets, and they put their finger and they put the strip on and they hear it. That's been the way we've been doing it for a while. What they've come up with is this thing called the Dexcom system. Has anybody ever heard of that system before? Is this brand new to everybody?
How do you spell that, Manny?
DEXCOM.
Dexcom.
Dexcom. And in a nutshell, what it is, it's a system that monitors in real time your blood sugars. So, and the way it does that is that you wear a 15-day patch, very small little patch, usually on the back of your arm somewhere. That's where they normally put it. And in that patch, the way it gets to your blood, it's got a small, real small little needle. It's like the width of a human hair, very, very, very small. And when you apply the patch to your arm, it puts the needle in there where it can reach, and there's no pain to it at all. That's the funny thing. And then inside of this patch is a little bit of electronics, and either with your phone or the receiver the Dexcom receiver unit, every 5 minutes it can transmit what your blood sugar is, and then over time you can see how your blood sugar spikes. So if you're trying to manage it, let's say you eat something that's not good for diabetics, well, just about everything's not good for diabetics. Let's say like something, and you see your blood sugar spike. Well, if you're an insulin user, you need to take some insulin to counteract that, because for diabetics, your body doesn't do that automatically. So you got to do it. This thing helps you monitor and keeps you from spiking. Because what happens in your body, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm just going to give you the real quick thing. When you eat something, your blood sugar naturally spikes, but your body in a normal person without any problems kicks in, and then it takes care of that and brings it back down to like whatever the level should be. In diabetics, that doesn't happen anymore. Where we either don't produce enough insulin or we have an insulin resistance problem. And for type 1 diabetics, they don't produce any insulin. So they have to monitor it very carefully, or, it's curtains for them. So the way this works is with the phone or the receiver. And their receiver is like a small phone, by the way. It's got a little screen that's got a little button on the bottom, like a real small iPhone. But you can have the app on your phone, and then you can go look at your blood sugar levels over time, and you can see them spike, go down, or whatever. And then you can manage that better. You can then show that to your doctor, and then your doctor can not only know your A1C over 3 months, but she or he can see detail, and it integrates tightly with the iPhone app. And I'll show you what one of these things looks like. Let me see here. I've got so I've got two things in this first box, and then I have the G7. I guess that's generation 7. That's what that means. I assume that's what it means. G7, and this is the little. Let me get it out of here. This is the little receiver unit. I got it in for you visual folks. It's right up on the screen here, and then I'm going to put my iPhone next to it so you can see just how small it is. So here's my iPhone right next to it. Okay, iPhone's like 2 or 3 times bigger than that little thing, and they're about the same thickness. So it's a little bitty unit. But you can use your iPhone instead of having to worry about a second unit. Now, the other piece of this is the thing that goes in your arm. Okay, I can't show you that exactly because for each of these 15-day patches, they are sealed up and they're bundled with an applicator. Don't worry, I won't go long on this. I know some of you are thinking, what's you talking about diabetes for? So this is what the applicator looks like. You put this on the back of your arm and it's a button, and you go smack, and then it puts the patch on your arm, and it's just a real quick little, and then you're done. And then I guess this gets thrown away or recycled or whatever. I think it's recycled now I think about it. And that's the way that works. And you do that and you're well on your way to managing your blood sugars if you need to. So if you know anybody who has problems doing this is like a public service announcement, see if you can turn them on to it, because for blind people, your insurance company should provide this for free, because it is not cheap if you go to buy it on your own. These are pretty expensive things. So just a little PSA for anybody who is diabetic or knows somebody can help them out with the system that might help them. So any questions on that? The Dexcom?
Manny, how long does the patch last?
15 days.
Huh?
15 days.
Oh, so you don't have to change it that often.
No, and it's water resistant and all that stuff. And there's no shock or anything to it. And it's been well researched, and it's on the 7th generation. So all the bugs have been worked out if there were any. So that's I wanted to show that because I know a lot of people know people who are diabetic or maybe even diabetic themselves. And this would really make the finger pricking thing and everything else or whatever else, a thing of the past, and just let it do its job. Let it help yourself. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, if there's no questions about the Dexcom system, we're going to go to accessibility shortcuts. You're probably saying, what are accessibility shortcuts? Well, they're the opposite of accessibility long cuts. No, that's not it. No, so what they are is when you either on an SE or on the other iPhones that don't have a home button, if you press your power button 3 times, it will then bring up whatever you have on your accessibility menu, your shortcut menu. And that could be it could be magnifier. That's usually the big one. You want to bring your magnifier up and go click, 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 and the magnifier is up and you can go. Zoom if you want to make the screen bigger. And there's a inversion of colors, contrast, and all that good stuff. And there's many more. And so where you go in your phone to get to these settings is you go to settings, accessibility, and then accessibility shortcuts. I'm going to go there now and show you what's going on with that. So,
Audio 7:27 p.m.
Righty.
Phone. InnoSearch AI. Apps. Phone. Closing phone. Xfinity.
All right, so I'm gonna open settings.
Home. Settings. Settings. Cellular. Off.
So a little bit down below general is accessibility. We'll swipe down there real quick.
Personal. Note. Phone. Screen. Control. Display. Home screen. Accessibility.
So there's accessibility.
Vision. Heading. Voice. Zoom. Display. Motion. Scope. Audio. Physical. Touch. Face. Switch. Voice. Side button. Controls. Apple T. Keyboard. Hearing. Hearing device. Hearing control. Sound rec. RT. Audio and vision. Subtitles. Live caption. Speech. Live speak. Personal voice. General. Head. Guided access. Assisted access. Siri. Accessibility shortcut.
I went too far down, like
Magnifier.
30 items. Okay, so I forgot where it was, so I had to swipe through. So accessibility shortcuts is what it's called. It's on the screen there for those of you who can see. I'm going to double tap on that.
Configure and entry. Click the side button to toggle accessibility features on or off.
So just like it says, there's a list of features. And if I find one that I want to add, I will go down to it and triple click the side button called the power button. and that will add it or take it off. So let's go through the first few of them. I have magnifier only. So when I do a triple click of the side button, it just opens up magnifier. But if you have more than one thing, you're going to get a menu. It's going to say magnifier and then whatever else you have. So let's see what's down here.
Triple click the side button for heading, assistive touch,
There's assistive
swipe,
touch.
reorder assistive background.
Oh, and then you can also reorder them in the menu. Let's say if you use magnifier the most, but you don't want to like bring up the menu and then swipe down to magnifier, you can put it at the very top, and then you can just double tap when it comes up. So so that's the way all these work. We'll just go through a couple of these features so you guys can hear what's on the you can potentially put on this menu. So let's say
reorder backgrounds, classic invert. Reorder color filters. Reorder control nearby devices. Reorder detection mode. Reorder dim flashing light. Reorder increase contrast. Reorder left/right balance. Live captions. Live speech. Selected. Magnifier.
so there's mine. I got magnifier. So
Swipe up or down.
what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find another one to add just for fun, and then you can see what happens when it comes up. So let me just go down and find one that I want.
Reorder, reduce motion, reduce transparent, reduce white point, smart invert, reorder smart invert, speak screen, reorder speak screen, switch control,
So let's do this speak screen thing.
speak screen,
So let's say I just,
swipe up or down to select.
instead of doing a 2-finger swipe up, I just want to do this instead. So what I'm going to do is triple tap that.
Magnifier,
Oops, sorry.
viewfinder, image,
Hang on a
settings,
second.
app switch, magnifier, settings, app settings, apps, switch control, speak screen,
So let me double tap on that.
swipe, selected, speak screen.
Selected speak screen. So now if I triple tap on this button over here, it's not just going to bring the magnifier up. What it's going to do, it's going to bring up a menu with magnifier and speak screen. So if I do that, it's going to do this.
Alert, accessibility shortcuts, magnifier, but speak screen, button, cancel,
And then cancel.
button.
So as you add more, that menu gets bigger. And then of course you can do the order, move it up or down depending on what your usage. So I'm going to hit cancel in this case.
Cancel. Selected.
But that's your accessibility shortcuts. It puts them in a real quick way right there with just a physical
Control center.
three taps of the button kind of thing. So any questions
Settings.
about that?
Manny?
If
Yeah.
you have an SE, does that apply?
I'm sorry?
Yes.
If you have an SE, like I have an SE,
Mhm.
can I do that?
It's
Yes.
either 3 on the power button or it's 3 on the home button. I don't remember which, but it's 3 on one of those two.
Manny, this is Diane. I have an SE, and I have mine set to turn my voiceover on and off, and it's the home button.
Okay, so it is the home button. Sorry about that. I
Mhm.
misspoke earlier. So on the SE,
It works great.
yes.
Yeah.
So on your button phones, the SEs and back, those you must use the home button, the round button at the bottom center of the screen, and you tap that 3 times. For all the other people, you do the button on the side button, the power button. You do that 3 times. Okay. Thank you, Diane and Barbara. Appreciate that. So, okay.
It's Patty, it's because we haven't had a button, a center button so long.
I know.
I forget that it was there.
I almost should bring my backup phone when I do these things so I can test them on, because I have a SE for my backup phone in case this one goes
Mhm.
south, but I rarely use it. It's just there just in case, and I should probably use it more so I can test these things out before I speak about them. But thanks for correcting me, guys. I really want to be right on this, so thank you. So, okay. Any more questions on the accessibility shortcuts, comments? All right.
Screen dim.
So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the long press gesture, okay? And for voiceover users, the long press gesture is a double tap and hold, okay? For non-voiceover users, it's just a tap and hold. Okay, and what that does, that brings up a context menu. For example, let's say that you copied something from somewhere, and now you're in a field somewhere where you want to paste. Well, instead of doing the rotor, you can do a long press and then let it go, and you'll hear some noise, like a clicking noise from the phone saying, okay, I got the long press gesture in. And then one of the options will be paste, because it knows that's one of the biggest options for that. It's a contextual option. And that menu will change drastically depending on where you're at. It's kind of like, I don't know, for you computer users, it's like a right click in Windows, you know, the context menu or app menu key kind of thing. That's what this is for the iPhone. And it's called a long press. So let me do something here so we can.
7:34 p.m.
Let me, okay, hang on a second.
Settings.
So
Double tap to open. Apps set. Closing setting. Closing
hang
magnify.
on, guys. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna copy something first, and then I just want to paste it using the long press gesture. That's probably the best example. So I'm gonna go my mail.
Mail.
Open up a
Forward. Beth Anderson. Forwarded. Barbara McPherson.
We're going to Barbara's email.
Message to page 2 of 2. Page 1 of FW. See more. Button. See more. More actions. Message 3 of vertical. Message 3 of message 1 of.
Okay.
Toolbar. Move. More actions. But compose.
Sorry.
Message page 9 of 9. Manny.
Okay, I'm just gonna copy something out of here.
Select a custom.
So I'm in Word mode right now. So when I swipe to the left or right.
Thanks, Manny. Begin forwarded message.
Okay.
Manny.
So I'm gonna copy my name. So if I'm in Word mode and I hear the word Manny, I think I can long press and copy it without doing any rotor gestures. So let's try that. And I'm in an email, okay? So let's try that. So it's a double tap and hold.
Manny, selected. Begin forwarded, Manny.
So it didn't.
Swipe up or
let me just
down
try
to
it again.
select.
I thought it did that here. Let me see. No, only on the paste. Okay. So let me select this with the rotor, and I can paste with long press. Okay. It doesn't work here for some reason. Okay. So let me do that.
Thanks, Manny.
Okay.
Characters, words, lines, text selection, speaking rate, 45%. Text selection. Cap N, A, N, N, Y, selected.
Okay, and now we're going to copy that. So
characters, words, lines, text selection, speaking rate, containers, headings, links, form controls, edit, select all, look up, share, speak, copy. Manny.
So I used I found the word, I used this text selection thing, and it was on characters, but and I just did 5 characters, M-A-N-N-Y, and then I did the copy. There are easier ways to do this. I did it the hard way. Okay. So now let me go to a text message. I want to paste Manny using the long press that we just talked about. So I'm going to close that, go into
messages, 4 unread,
and I'll go into one of
messages.
these.
851 conversations. Maggie Hagan.
So we're going to Maggie's message.
Maggie Hagan. Messages. Swipe. Sent with Siri. Button. Message.
So I'm going to go down and act like I'm going to respond to her text message. So go down there.
Message. Text.
And now I'm going to long press, and I'm hoping that the paste comes up. It's supposed to. Let me see here.
Paste. Menu item.
And it goes right to paste. There's another option too. Let's see.
Autofill. Menu item.
I don't know what that does, but anyway, we're going to use paste.
Menu item. Manny.
And then Manny is put right in there. And that's done with the long press. Like I said, it doesn't work on the copy part. I guess copying is more involved, selecting and then copying. But pasting is a one action thing, and long press works great. So any comments on long press or how to use it? Or I know it's kind of confusing if you haven't used it yet, but remember, it's 2 taps, and on the second tap, you leave your finger down until you hear this little noise. This whatever noise it makes.
Manny, that long press will close your tab.
Oh, okay. That's also used. You're right. So another use in long press contextually in Safari. Let's go there and show that. That's a very good one, Barbara.
Messages.
So let's go to Safari.
Message. Safari. Done. Button.
Now,
Web page loaded.
hang on a
Done.
second.
Button. Skip to main con.
So what Barbara's talking about is we're in Safari, and you want to go to the tabs option on the toolbar at the bottom, and you want to close all your tabs. So you come up from the bottom to the toolbar, get on the toolbar.
Toolbar. Share. Button.
You swipe over to tabs.
Show bookmark. Tabs. Button.
That was a swipe right twice.
Double tap. Search tabs.
Now I got about 4 or 5 tabs up here. I don't know how many there are. But the secret here is you go down to the done button, and then you do this long press like we just talked about. So let's go down there.
What are accessing an asset? Private. 4 tabs. New tab. Tab group. Done. Button.
There's done. Now I'm going to long press that. That's a tap twice and hold.
Close all 4 tabs.
And then the menu
Button.
comes up. Close all 4 tabs. I'm not going to do that because I need those tabs open, by the way. So
Dismiss context menu.
and I swipe to
Button.
the right. I'm just going to dismiss it. But you see that
Search tabs.
the long press's function is entirely based on what you're doing. It doesn't have one single function. So it's a very flexible gesture. You can use it on websites. You can use it anywhere. I think even on Amazon, you can double tap and hold certain places and get menus up as well. We got a menu here for the tabs, but there's also other context menus that can come up in other places. I urge you to play around with it because you're not going to hurt anything. You'll just get a menu and you just dismiss it if you don't like it. Anyway, that's the gist of the long press gesture. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we're gonna.
Manny, this is Diane. I don't exactly have a question, but I tried to do this about a month or so ago, and I was just not successful ever getting it to do the long press. And I don't know, it seemed like it was really sensitive in terms of the interval on the tap. So I found it really frustrating because I could never get it to click in. But anyway,
if you can't hear the gesture, the audio part of the gesture that says, okay, that's the long press, do this. Do a double tap and just keep your finger down on the second one. Don't raise it. Leave it down for about 2 to 3 seconds. Let's say 1,000, 2, 1,000, and then lift. And I'm sure you'll get good results.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I was holding it down too long. All right.
Or not long enough. It's real sensitive, and it does do an audio sound, like a notification that, oh yeah, that's a long press, and here's your menu or whatever it's supposed to. Just practice that. You'll get it. Okay. I'm sure you will.
All right. Thanks.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. You know. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Diane. Any more questions? All right. We're gonna head on to the famous S lady. So let me get her volume up to snuff here. And the way I change the S lady's volume is I ask her a question that's going to take her more than just a single word response. And while she's talking, I'll manipulate the volume up button until we get her to the right volume. So I'm going to ask her something like, I don't know, like, what's the weather? And then she'll give me like a few sentences. And while she's saying that, I'm going to bring her volume up so you guys can hear her just fine. So here we go. Siri, what's the weather?
It's currently clear and 80 degrees. Temperatures are heading down from 79 to 72 degrees tonight.
72, yeah, right. Okay, here we go.
Face ID, accessing an...
Okay, so I increased her volume. So the way you change your voice. So there's 2 things about Siri's voice you can change. You can change the bass voice, like a female or male, or there's like 4 different options. But then you can change sort of the accent. So, and where you do this is you're going to go to settings, Siri and search, and then Siri voice. So let me go to those settings and we will proceed. So let me close this Safari thing down.
Safari.
Put it back.
Hi, Diddy.
Let me go.
Settings. Settings. Wi-Fi. Rows 3. Sounds and haptics. Focus. General. Control. Display. Home. Access. Wallpaper. Stand. Siri and search.
So it's towards the top. It's in the general area of general. This is underneath it. And then, so we're going to go to Siri and search.
Ask Siri. Heading.
And then we're going to go down to Siri voice, wherever that's at.
Listen for. Press side button for. Allow Siri. Language. Siri voice. American. Voice 4. Button.
So I got a boring Samantha voice. That's what this is based on, the American. But if I wanted to change that, I go into here, I double tap on Siri voice.
Variety. Heading.
So they call accents here, like the different accents, they call them varieties. Okay, so whatever floats your boat. So right now I have the American variety. So let's see what else we have here.
Selected. American.
Okay, and we go to the next one.
Australian.
So here's Australian. I'll double tap. They give you a little sample of it.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
All right, that's Australian. There's a few more. We'll just go through them just for fun.
British.
So here's British.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Okay, and then we have
Indian.
Indian. Wait, try that again.
Indian.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Okay, and then the last one in this list.
Irish.
Oh no, the second to the last one is Irish.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
And then finally we have South African.
South African.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
All right, I'm just partial to the American voice. That's just me.
American.
Hi, I'm Siri.
American.
Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So, and okay, that's the first part, okay? And then down at the bottom, we have another set of selections.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Voice.
Hi.
Heading.
And that's called voice. So let's go down here and see what those sound like.
Voice. Heading. Voice 1.
So right now I have voice 3 or 4.
Selected. Voice 4.
Right now I have voice 4 selected, but I'm going to go hear what voice 1 sounds like. And they don't have any better descriptors than that. Voice 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's not, I think that's a really bad thing to call them that, but let's just go forward. So voice 1.
Voice 1.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So I don't know, they used to have names on these guys, and I don't know who that would be.
Voice 2.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
That's the second one. Here's the third
Voice
one.
3.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Kind of cool. Let's see.
In progress. Selected. Voice 4.
So that's the one we were looking at.
Voice 4.
Let's go.
Select voice 4.
And voice 5. Because you already heard voice 4. So I'll go to voice 5.
Hi,
Voice
I'm
5.
Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So I'm going to stick with my voice 4. I'm just boring that way.
Voice 4.
Hi,
Selected.
I'm Siri.
Voice 4.
Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So that's how you change the voice. Now, I don't know if you could download custom voices. I've never tried to do that. I know you used to be able to do that, but I don't know if they've changed that.
Voice 5. Voice 5.
Yeah. So basically you have 5 voices and like 6 accents or what they call varieties. Okay. So that's kind of what you have. And this is all English. I guess you could change the language, and that's where it gets really nutty, when you could change it to Spanish and all that. So, but in the English dialect or English language, those are the options you have. So remember.
Manny?
Sorry?
It's Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
One thing, my crazy phone, I play around with the voice because I like the British mail and different stuff. And if you do too many changes that you're looking for, you may get the message I do. Can't you make up your mind? And it doesn't hurt anything, but it's just kind of a surprise when it pops out at you.
You do a lot of stuff on your phone. I'm surprised, Maggie, how into your phone you are. I'm always amazed at that. And keep on doing that because that you learn a lot doing that, by the way. So very, very good. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have anything else for Siri's voice unless there's any more questions or comments. So without further ado, let me close this up.
Settings. Apps setting. Closing set.
Oh, and on the voice, by the way, let's talk about one more thing with voices. This is kind of related, okay? So a lot of people, they don't know when the S lady is talking versus voiceover. And the reason for that is because you're using the same exact voice, or actually you're using the same speech engine, okay? A lot of my students, what they like to do is they like to differentiate. So maybe the S lady retains the American Samantha voice that we're all used to, and in voiceover, they'll change it to a guy's voice. So then they know when voiceover is speaking
Screen dim.
versus
Safari.
the
Active.
S lady. So
Maggie, it's Maggie again.
Mhm.
It's very handy, at least for me. I have one voice for text and one voice for emails coming through.
Yeah. And Barbara does that too, but she does it on her computer. We configured, and this is a side thing, a little tangent. So Barbara uses JAWS on her Windows machine. Now when she goes into, I believe it's Microsoft Word, the voice changes completely from that eloquence voice that sounds like, it sounds like a machine gun, to a lady's voice and Word in Microsoft Word. And she immediately knows when she's in Word versus any other app. So it's kind of cool to change the voices a little bit because then you kind of know just from an audio cue what's going on in front of you.
If you're listening or something this way, you know you're listening to a text or you're listening to an email.
That's right.
Or or whatever. So my functions, I have them all separated.
That's good. Okay.
Now I just have to remember which voice goes with what.
That's the other part. Yeah. So to round this whole voice thing out, this was originally just a Siri's voice, but I want to go in and show you how to change voiceover's voice in case you want to change that voice instead and differentiate it from Siri. It's a very handy thing to do if you're having trouble with that. Let me just go off on that tangent real quick because I think it's important to know how to do this. All right.
Settings.
So you're going to go to settings.
Settings.
And then the next thing you're going to go to is accessibility and then voiceover. So let me just dash over there.
Voice 3.
Oh, hang on. I'm still.
Siri
I'm still
answer.
in Siri.
Settings. Settings. Heading. Cellular. Focus. Display and home. Accessibility. Button.
Go to accessibility.
Vision.
Yeah.
Heading.
Well, go to voiceover.
Voiceover. Voiceover. Tip. Speaking. Speak. Braille. Voiceover verbosity. Audio. Commands. Rotor. Activity. Typing. Quick settings. Navigation style.
Did I miss it? Hang on a second.
Button.
I'm going so fast. I think I missed it.
Speech.
I think it's under
button.
speech. I'm sorry. Let me try it there.
Voice. Samantha.
Yeah, there it is.
Button.
So voice. This one has a name. Samantha. That's the voice of S lady and of voiceover in my phone. But I could change that if I go in.
Voice. Select English. Agnes. Button. Alex. Button.
I could change it to Alex. So
actions available.
And Alex is a male American counterpart of Samantha. So let's do that. I'll go to Alex.
Who's Agnes?
English. US. Heading.
And then do that.
Download Alex. 885 MB.
Let's see if we can do that real quick. I don't think.
Started downloading Alex. Stop downloading Alex. 885 MB.
I got a pretty quick internet connection.
Downloaded.
So we'll wait for just a second. So what it does, these to voiceover requires all of the language elements of Alex to come down so they can locally do it real quick. It doesn't farm this out to the mothership up on the cloud. So we got to download the speech engine. And then once it's downloaded, it'll know that. And then, of course, it'll change over to Alex right away, which is the male American voice. Let's see how far it's gone so far.
Stop downloading Alex. 885 MB, 35% downloaded.
All right.
Button.
We'll just give it a little more
It's gonna
time.
take a while.
Actions available.
It's
44% down.
it's worth the extra time because you'll hear the difference in voices, and I'll keep it on for the remainder of the class. So when you hear my phone speak and it's a male voice, you'll know that that is voiceover speaking as opposed to the S lady. So
That's
let's
a scary guy.
Yeah, Patty doesn't like him for some reason, but I
He
kind of
takes
like his
bre-
voice.
he breathes between words. It's so weird.
And here I thought women liked heavy breathers. I just
No, obviously not. No,
I
he's
keep thinking this is like Ken and Barbie.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. It's like Sonny and Cher or Donnie and Marie. You know.
Mm. No, he's very clear, but I think for some reason, I always think like he sounds too human.
Oh,
I like my technology to sound like a robot.
Yeah.
Danger, Will Robinson. Let me see here.
Stop downloading Alex. 885 MB, 98% downloaded.
Okay, we're almost there.
Button.
Thanks for
Actions
waiting.
available. Alex. Using 911.7 MB.
So let's see.
English. Alex.
Don't get
Using
scared, ladies.
911.7 MB.
Come on, Alex.
Actions available. English. Alex. Using 911.7 MB.
Okay.
Actions available.
Okay, so let me go back and see if it changes.
English. Back button. English. Alex. Button.
So do I have to?
Actions available. English. US. Heading. Alex. Using 911.
Selected.
There it is.
Alex.
There he is.
I had to select it. I'm sorry.
oh, he does have an odd voice.
If you guys don't like it, I'll switch it back because I already got Samantha down. But this is voiceover now talking in Alex's voice. So if it really bugs you, just let me know, and we'll continue on.
Cellular. 2 of 4 bars. Words. Speaking rate. 50%.
Don't be scared,
55%,
Diane.
60%. 55%.
All right, let's go.
Containers. English.
Good
Back
boy.
button.
Good
English.
boy.
Selected. Alex. Button.
So
Actions
that's
available.
that is voiceover. So what if I call up the other one? Siri,
Mm-hmm.
hi there.
Hey Manny. How can I help?
No thanks.
Selected. Settings. Alex.
Anyway, that's the difference, and you know who's talking. It doesn't have to be Alex. Obviously, he's probably not a popular voice in this crowd, but I like it.
It's so funny
He's
when
not friendly.
when he gets
Yeah.
going reading a whole article. It sounds so spooky.
All right, well, I'll put it back to Samantha. Let me just go back.
You should let him hear it.
Speech. Settings.
No, it's entertaining, actually.
Voice. Alex. Selected. English.
Actually,
US,
he
Agnes,
speaks very proper
Actions
English, but
available.
when he's speaking, he takes a breath. Like, I'm like,
Here's some other voice names. I don't want to I can't demo them because I had to download each one, but here's a few names we can go through before I get to Samantha. So there's Agnes.
Agnes.
yeah,
Button.
who's that?
We got
Selected. Alex.
Alex.
Button. Allison. Button.
Allison,
Ava. Button.
Ava,
Bruce. Button.
Bruce.
Action. Eloquence. Button.
Eloquence, that's the one for Jaws. That's the voice for Jaws. That
Mhm.
voice that Jaws uses by default. That's called eloquence.
Who's Alex? I mean, who's Agnes? I never heard her.
I don't know. We'll have to do it offline because I had to download her speech engine. And it would take forever.
Fred. Button.
So
Actions
Fred,
available. Evan. Button.
Evan,
Joel. Button.
Joel, they come up.
Junior. Button. Actions available.
Junior.
Kathy. Button. Nathan.
Hmm.
Noel. Button. Ralph. Button. Samantha.
So
Button.
go back to Samantha.
English. US. Heading.
Let's see.
Samantha. Using 11 megabytes. Actions available.
Selected. Samantha. Using
So
11.
we're back. Okay, and that's all you do. If you don't have the voice engine, you have to download it, and then when it's done, and it says using so many bytes, megabytes, then you got to double tap it again and make it the current one selected. So now Samantha has two downloads. This one is the normal download.
Selected. Samantha.
And there's-
Using 11 MB.
And there's one below it. That's 11 megabytes of data. And then the one below it.
Download Samantha. Enhanced. 152.2 MB. Button.
So that's about
Actions
like
available.
14 times bigger. So it must have better sounding speech. But I just use the basic one because I don't need to have it singing to me or whatever the other one does. Anyway, so that's kind of how that works.
English. Back button.
So remember, we are in.
Samantha. Heading. English.
We go
button.
back.
English. Selected. English. Heading. Speech. Back button.
So we're in speech,
Speech. Voice. Samantha. Voiceover. Back button.
voiceover,
Voiceover. Speech. Button. Accessibility. Back button.
accessibility,
Settings. Back button.
and settings, going back up the ladder. So it's a few levels deep to do this. But again, it'll behoove you if you need to separate those voices out. That's the way you do it. And I'm sure there's a way to get other voices, but these are the stock ones that are on the phone. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. So the next topic is I'm talking to the rich folks here in the audience, and that should be most of you, I think. We're going to talk about the Stocks app. So has anyone ever used the Stocks app?
No.
No.
Okay, so it doesn't keep track of stocky people. It actually keeps track of financial stocks that are on the New York Stock Exchange. So let's see here.
Settings.
Let's see here.
Double tap to open. Apps. Setting. Closing settings. Safari. Closing Safari. Message. Closing messages. Mail. Closing mail. New.
All right, so the way you do it is you just tell the S lady to open it up. So Siri, open stocks.
Stocks.
Now-
Toolbar. Yahoo Finance.
Now stocks can be, well, the stock app is divided into a few sections. It's not real complicated. You have your exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange, you have your Dow Jones, blah, 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 and you'll see their volume. Like you hear it in the news, like, oh, it's down 200 points. Well, that's what they mean, the volume of stock. So that's at the very top of this. Let's hear one or two of them just for fun, okay? So I'm gonna go here.
Stocks. Head. September 17.
So it gives you the date, September 17.
More options. But search. Search field. Dictate. Button. Stock list. My symbols.
Now I have a default stock list that is automatically put on here when you get the phone. The Apple puts these on for you. So the exchange list we're going to go through first. Just the first two. There's more, and then we'll get down to like an individual stock tracking it, and then we could also add a mutual fund if you wanted to do that. Anyway, we're going to go down to the very first stock exchange here.
NASDAQ Composite. NASDAQ 17,628.06. Change. Up 35.93 points. Actions available.
So just like in the news, you can get your stock report. So that's a NASDAQ. That's a tech-heavy stock exchange like Microsoft and all these guys. So let's go to another one.
NYSE Composite. DJ. NYSE 19,225.78. Change. Down 30.60 points.
So the New York
Actions available.
The New York Stock Exchange actually balances out the NASDAQ. NASDAQ went up by 30 something, and then the New York Stock Exchange went down by 30 something. So it seems like there's a balance there or something. Let's go one more just for fun. I think there's another one here. Let's see.
NYSE Composite. DJ. NYSE Dow Jones Industrial Average. Dow Jones 41,606.18. Change. Down 15.90 points.
Anyway, you get the
Actions
gist.
available.
And then I think there's another one here.
Apple Incorporated.
Okay, no. So here's the Apple stock and this individual stock here.
Apple Incorporated. AAPL 216.79. Change. Up 0.47 points.
Obviously, you know what that is. That's the cost per unit. And when you buy it at 200 and you can sell it for 400, you've doubled your money. That's the whole idea of playing the stock market. The worst thing that can happen is you buy it for 200 and then it goes down to 20. That's no good. That's not a good day. Okay. Let's see here. I'll look at one more. I think. Maybe see.
Starbucks Corporation. SPOX 96.44. Change. Up 0.13 points. Actions
So
available.
most of these stocks kind of stay steady. What happens with stocks, and I'm not a financial guy, but I just know enough to be dangerous, that when a company comes up with something new or they have a good report, or they break into a new market, the anticipation of that usually gets people buying the stock, which then raises its price. And then on the other end of it, when it hits a certain peak, they're watching and they want to dump it at the peak so more people will buy, and then they'll make their money because they bought it low and sold it high. That's the whole idea of the stock market in a nutshell. That's my $5 tour. You don't have to go to college to find out about that. So now if you want to add something like, let me see here.
Page 3 of 3, T-Mobile US, Incorporated.
So down, where is that thing at? I forgot. Hang on a second. Let me swipe over to it.
Detail overlay, business news, head from Apple News. Toolbar, Yahoo Finance, link, Yahoo Finance, detail overlay, business news, heading.
Oh wait, it's up at the top. So at the top right, now I remember. Let me get up there.
Stock list, my search more options, button.
More options, go up there.
Edit watch list, button.
So you edit your watch list, your stocks, and you can even add a mutual fund. Let's say you got a mutual fund like Vanguard and you want to see how it's doing. Well, you look up Vanguard. So let's do that. Let me see here.
Show currency, sort watch list,
edit
watch list.
Edit watch list. And then we're going to search for one.
Search field. Search field is search.
So we're going to do an index fund, which is a combination of a lot of stocks into one, and the risk is spread over that. So we're going to do Vanguard. Let me just dictate that in. Vanguard.
Inserted Vanguard.
So let's see what we found.
Clear text, done, but my symbols, button, VGT, Vanguard Information Technology Index Fund ETF shares, NYSE ARCA, USD, 565.61, down 0.29 points.
So if I double
tap to toggle inclusion in the selected watch.
So just like I said, if I double tap that, that'll be on the previous screen with Apple and Starbucks and all those. Then I can monitor my Vanguard investment. So and it's a really good app because it doesn't take it doesn't like drag the phone down with a lot of updates. And you get in there and you can see just at an instant right where your stocks are if you're an investor. So anyway, I wanted to show that because I've never shown this app really to anybody and to the group. And I thought just in case you're following some stocks or you have some mutual funds, you could put those in here and always see at a glance where they're at, your investments. So anyway, that's my story on that one. Any questions on the stocks app? And don't ask me any detailed questions. I only know just this much, and then I'm done. All right. So that's it for stocks. Let me close that up.
Settings. Apps with stocks. Closing stocks.
All right.
Settings.
Let's see what's next.
Double tap to open.
Next is. Hang on a second. There it is. Oh, item chooser. Now I've shown this before. Okay. This is the item chooser gesture. This is 2 fingers. It's a triple tap with 2 fingers. And what that does is that interrogates your screen and allows you to see what's on your screen in alphabetical order. And Barbara had a really good thought. Let's say if you want to find an icon on the screen somewhere, and maybe it starts with a B. Well, this is a great way to find an icon on one of your home screens. So I'm on this home screen here. I don't know which one it is, doesn't even matter. Okay, and I'm going to do this gesture. So again, triple tap, 2 fingers. So if I go 1, 2, 3.
28 search field.
So
double tap to edit. Item chooser, 28, heading.
So they found 28 objects, things on the screen. And it puts them in order. So if I go down to the
ABC
order list.
order.
I'm sorry, what's that?
ABC order.
That's right, in alphabetical order. So if I go down to the list, it's going to start with whatever icons are on my screen. That starts with A and then B. Let's say what I'm looking for is in the A's, just for example, and it'll be right at the top of the list. So let me swipe over to the list. So a couple swipes, I think.
Search field. Double tap to edit.
If you have like 1,000 items, you could then filter that search by typing in part of it, and it'll do a contained in search. Like let's say that one of the icons says, I don't know, something, New York Stock Exchange. You can just type in York and it'll find it because it doesn't contain insert. It'll look for York anywhere in the name or whatever. So anyway, let me keep swiping down to the list.
Section index, Amazon.
So Amazon
Bottom
is the
screen.
first one.
Amazon Music, App Store, Bard Mobile.
You see that? It put them right in order. So if I wanted to go to Bard, let's say Bard Mobile, just double
Center of
tap,
screen, Bard Mobile.
and then
Double tap to open.
what it does, it doesn't open Bard Mobile. It just puts focus on Bard Mobile, and then I can double tap on the screen and it'll open Bard Mobile like this.
Bard Mobile,
Bard
the
Mobile.
mountain window C, heading.
So yeah, so there it is. And that's how you do that. And that works on websites, on screens, any screen that you can bring up on your phone, this thing can do that. And it can find stuff very quickly. So for example, let's say you're looking for some Halloween specials on Amazon and you're using the Safari browser. Well, all you got to do is bring up the front page of Amazon, do your gesture, that's 2 fingers 3 times, and then go to the search bar in the item chooser list and type in Halloween. Then all of the items that have Halloween in the name will come up. It'll say Halloween specials, Halloween pumpkins, blah, blah, blah. And you find something you like, it'll take you right to the place on the website. You don't have to fuss through a bunch of swiping or anything else. So it's a really handy tool for us. I highly recommend that people learn this. You guys learn this. All right.
Bard Mobile. At Bard Mobile. Closing Bard Mobile.
We close Bard
Bard
Mobile.
Mobile.
Let's see what's next. Any questions on the item chooser gesture? There'll be a test. I don't know when, but there'll be a test. Let me see here. Okay, here's another thing that that I can help you save money if you do this. So most of you, I assume, have a broadband connection where you live, in your home, your house, your apartment, whatever. And then you have a cellular data plan for your phone. So a cellular data plan is like overkill for your phone. And what I do is I have a very low cellular data plan, and I just use most of my data at the house or at Patty's or someone else's broadband. And then I save money on my cellular data bill. I pay $20 a month for my phone plan on my phone. And that's really nothing. You could be paying $100 a month for one phone, or 60 or 80. And you multiply that by the number of months in a year, you're talking, $500. So I suggest, if you so desire here, is to go low on your cellular data. That's got nothing to do with phone calls and very little to do with text. Okay, it's got everything to do with emails and downloading music and books. That's where your data is, not your voice or your text. Okay, that's not real. It's data, but it's not considered this kind of data. It's a different kind of data. So if you get like a lower plan at a lower price, you can then go to your cellular data settings and you can turn cellular data off. You'll still get all your phone calls. You'll still receive texts. You won't be able to do the big fat things with data, like share a song or share pictures until you get home to your broadband. That's the only caveat. Or you can turn cellular data on temporarily and share your picture and then turn it right back off. And then you won't go over a limit if you got a low limit. So I hope I'm making myself clear on that. I may be confusing it a little bit, but what you want to do is have a low cellular data plan and then manage that data with your phone. And the way I do it to keep me from getting dinged for going over my limit is I tell the S lady to turn cellular data off all the time. So it never uses my cellular data and I won't get charged for that. But it will use the Wi-Fi data at your house or at someone else's house. That will use just fine. And when you get out and you need to turn on cellular data, like let's say you're taking an Uber and it's got to triangulate, well, that's data. That's no longer voice or text. Then you tell the S lady to turn it back on for you. And while you need it, keep it on, get your ride, then turn it back off as soon as you get in the car. And then you'll pay lower monthly bills and then still have the same service. Now, let me show you where this is at in case you're interested. So
8:13 p.m.
let's go over here.
Count.
So you go to your settings.
Settings. Settings. Heading.
And you go to cellular.
Bluetooth on.
It's
button.
right under Wi-Fi Bluetooth.
Cellular.
Right
off,
there.
button.
Cellular. It's currently off for me. Like if you hear it again, let me just
Cellular off button.
everything I've been doing on this phone in front of you has been on my local Wi-Fi. And I can receive calls and texts just with that. That's no problem. But what I'm not doing is I'm not racking up a bunch of gigabytes on my cellular data and paying a premium for it. So you can tell the S lady to turn it off, but there's one other setting that you may want to tweak too. So when you do have it on, it's not draining it so much. So you go into cellular data.
Cellular off. Cellular data. Switch button.
And we go down to your primary carrier thing here. You'll hear it when I get to it.
Personal hot. Turn off cellular SIMs. Heading S +1. Used as primary +1. 5203331.
So your SIM card is what you go into. And then what you want to do when you do that, let me just make sure I'm doing this right.
Used as primary. Select alert. Cellular plan no longer available.
Oh, wait. Close.
Close button.
That's not it.
Used as primary. S +1. 52033. Cellular plan label. Second.
There it is. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. So you go into one of your SIM cards, the correct one. I have two, and I'm just going to go to the right one. So you swipe down to this thing down here. Let me show you.
Cellular plan label. Secondary. Turn on this line. Switch button. Xfinity Mobile. Wi-Fi calling. Off. Button. Calls on other devices. Voice and data. 5G auto. Data mode. Low data mode.
So you want to go to this thing called data mode. So remember, it's cellular, and then it's this the SIM card, and then you go to data mode, and you want to set that to low. So if you do put cellular data on, and you have a metered cellular connection, it's only going to use the least amount that it can use to get the job done. And here are the options for
data mode.
that.
Low data mode. Allow more data on 5G. Standard. Selected. Low data. Standard.
Typically standard is selected, but what I have is this one selected.
Selected. Low data mode.
Low data mode. And here's the explanation of low data mode.
Allow more data on 5 grams. May prefer 5 grams over Wi-Fi and use it for software updates. Allow more data on 5 grams. Allow more data on 5 grams. Allow more data on 5 grams. May prefer 5 grams over Wi-Fi and use it for software updates, automatic iCloud backups, and higher quality media. Standard allows automatic updates and background tasks on cellular, but limits video and FaceTime quality. Low data mode helps reduce cellular data usage by pausing automatic updates and background tasks.
So what this does, it doesn't do the big fat data things over your cellular connection. It waits until you get home and uses your bought and paid for home Wi-Fi to get all of the big tasks done, which is what you should be doing. You shouldn't be updating your phone over your cellular connection anyway. That's not a good way to do it. So I hope I didn't confuse everybody, but if you have any questions about this, and I'll be happy to answer them, and I will outline this in the notes in a clearer way, why you would do this, what you should do, the plan you should choose, and then of course the settings that you should choose to support your lower plan choice and save some money. And that's what this was designed to do, is help you save money. So that's what I do, and I pay $20 a month versus 40 from before, so I'm on half what I used to pay. So I'm saving that $240 for other cool things like cat toys and cat trees and things like that. So any questions about cellular data and the settings? All right. I know that one was a little bit harder because we're not used to talking about that, but I just wanted to just get it out there. Okay, what is the next one? Oh, the scrub gestures. Okay, so there are a few gestures that are considered scrub. You can do a Z, you can do an L, and they do the same thing. They perform an escape.
Screened in.
And I'm gonna show you that.
Allow more data on 5 grams. May prefer 5 gram settings.
Oh wait, I was right there where I
Double
needed to
tap
be. Hang on a second.
App switcher. Settings. Active.
All
Swipe up
right.
with 3 fingers. Settings. Active. Allow more data on 5 grams.
So the scrub, you take 2 fingers, and I'm going to try to do this in reverse, so you guys, for those of you watching the screen here, can see me. You do an L shape, or you can do a Z. Okay, whatever you want to do. Z is this way. I don't know which way it is on your side. Either one will trigger the escape function, and like the back function. So right now I'm in this whole low data mode thing, and I want to go back to the previous screen. Well, I could find the back button up here by doing a 2-finger swipe up, or running my finger around like
Allow more
this.
data on 5. Select standard. Allow
Like
more data on
that.
5G. Xfinity Mobile. Back button.
Okay, or I could do a scrub gesture, and it'll know to go to the previous screen. So I'm going to try that now. So I'm going to do the L and see how that works.
Selected. Low data. Turn on this line. Switch button.
And there
on.
it is. The screen changed, and now the screen title is
Xfinity Mobile. Heading.
So now I'm in this Xfinity. Now I want to go back another level, another screen. So I'm going to do another one.
Settings. Back button.
Now we're back to settings. So that's how you do that. It's a real quick way to go back. And it's not hard to learn. Just think of an L. You can also do a Z. I'll try it on this and see if it goes back.
Cellular data. Switch button.
Yep, there it is. It just went back. So they both end up doing the same thing. As soon as it detects a scrub gesture, it'll escape out of the current screen and go to the previous one, if there is one. If there is no previous screen, you'll hear a thunking sound, like a dunk, dunk, dunk. That means you can't go back any further. And that's the name of that tune. Any questions about the scrub gesture?
Manny, so it just moves from screen to screen. It doesn't close the screen.
I'm sorry?
It doesn't close the screen.
No, it actually closes the screen and goes back.
Because I was thinking if you could use it on Netflix to close up, because sometimes I can't find the button to close.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. So you're playing a movie and the controls are hidden and you can't find them. Yes. You tap on the screen to give it focus, because we don't know where focus is. And then as soon as VoiceOver says something or it's focused on there, you can do this scrub. And if you're watching it in a horizontal way, well, you have to do a real small scrub, like a little L, like that, down over, and it will go back to the previous screen. So yes, that's a handy little gesture. Yeah, good question. Thank you, Chica. Let's see. All right, we're going to the next thing. Okay, so in your phone, for us visually impaired people, when we watch movies, it's much better if we have this thing called audio descriptions.
Screen dim.
And the setting for audio descriptions is under settings, accessibility, and audio descriptions. And it is a toggle. You turn it on or off. By default, it is off. So when you're setting up your phone, or if you're in your phone and you're not sure if you're getting audio descriptions, you got to make sure you turn this setting on. And now an audio description is a secondary track on a movie that is like a narrator telling you what's going on, telling you facial expressions or something in the scenery that's not audible. You know, something passed by, but it made no sound. Somebody made a face, they furrowed their brow, they did something, and you can know what the reactions are of the actors if you can't see the screen. So that's what this is. So you always want to make sure this is on, because you'll miss most of the movie, especially the movies that don't have a lot of dialogue. Those are the hardest ones to watch. And this is a necessary thing. So again, it's a settings, accessibility, audio description. You just pop it on or off. Turn it on if I were you. So, but I don't have to demo that. It's just right there. It's a toggle switch. It's no big deal. So just want to make a mention of that. Let's see what else we got here. See. So Barbara tells me that the song recognition is working, and it worked on my demo before I did the class. So I want to try it again today and see if the S lady can identify a song that's being played. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go to my A lady device and have her start playing a song. Okay, and then I'm going to ask her, hey, what song are you playing? And then she's going to tell us. And then I'm going to go to the S lady and ask her the same question, see if the matches, see if they both match. So I'm just going to ask for a song from Glenn Miller, and I'm not even going to give a title. I won't even know what the title is. We'll just have a swing song come up, and then I'll ask the question. So Echo, play music from Glenn Miller.
Shuffling Glenn Miller and similar artists on Amazon Music.
Echo, what song is this?
This is Moonlight Serenade by Glenn Miller and his orchestra.
So it's Moonlight Serenade, okay? I'm gonna, hope you can hear this, but I'm going to ask the S lady the same question. Echo, volume down. Okay. Siri, what song is playing? Or not? Siri, what song?
Music recognition, 8:25 p.m.
Sorry, I think I didn't wait. Siri, what song is playing?
Hmm.
8:25 p.m.
No, it's still messed up. Echo, stop.
Try again.
So I'm using my vision and magnifier, and I see this right here, Moonlight Serenade, but it didn't say it. So there's still an issue with this.
Oh.
Before it worked. When I did it before, it actually said, oh, it's fixed. But this is kind of iffy, but it did have Moonlight Serenade in a text thing on here, but it didn't say that. So sorry guys, this one's still in the garbage can. So I'm gonna have to figure that out in another time. So sorry guys. So we won't be able to figure out what songs you're playing when you ask for them. So all right, so don't want to go on that one anymore. See, okay, and then another important topic I wanted to go over was location services. We've talked about that before briefly, but I want to show you where it all is and what you should be looking for, just real briefly. So your location services stuff is going to be under settings, privacy and security, and then location services. So let's go in there.
8:27 p.m. Glenn Miller, Moonlight Serenade.
Yeah, there it is, Moonlight
Tap
Serenade.
to see more details.
Yeah.
Actions available. Settings, cellular data, switch.
All right, so let's go find that.
Settings, back button. Settings, heading.
We're going to go to privacy and security.
Bluetooth on button. Rows 4 to 14 of 100. Screen time. But control center. Display and home screen and accessibility. Wallpaper. Standby. Siri and Face ID and emergency exposure battery button. Privacy and security
There it is.
button.
It's a little bit down, about 20 guys down maybe. Privacy and security.
Location services on button.
Location services. Now you want location services to be on. It's not like one or the other. You need it on to do things like Uber and Lyft, or if you need a location for some reason, you're trying to find out where you are in relation to something else. It needs to do the GPS and location stuff. But what you can do is you can review who has access to this. So let's take a look at that.
Location services on.
All right.
Location alerts button. Location services uses GPS, Bluetooth, and crowdsourced Wi-Fi hotspot and cell tower locations to determine your approximate location. About location services and privacy. Link. Location services settings also apply to your Apple Watch.
Okay.
Share my location button. This iPhone is being used for location sharing.
So on certain times, I am sharing my location. So I've shared my location with Patty. In a demo about 6 months ago, I think I shared my location with Barbara, and it gave her my address. You know, that's what it's talking about. It's saying that I am sharing my location, not with everybody, but with a few people. Okay, that's what that means. So we keep going.
App clips button.
So here are the apps that I've requested and may not have gotten location, but they've requested it. So you can go into one of these. Let's see, app clips.
App clips button. Confirm location. Switch button on. Your location is used to confirm to app clips that scan tags haven't been moved from where they belong.
So you see that it's giving you an explanation of why they need location services. And if you agree with that and it's on, well, you keep it on. But if you don't agree with that, you just turn it right off, and then the location services won't be available to that application. So instead of doing each one, I'll just go through a couple of them so you can see what apps on my phone has asked for my location. Okay, so let me go back.
Location services, location, app clips, but Ace Hardware requested your location in the past.
So when you're when you have apps where you can do shopping and stuff, they do that so they can know where your address is, and they verify that when you're using the app. It's not on when you're not using the app. For all mine, that's the way I've set it. So Ace can't know my location unless I grant that permission during the transaction while I'm using it.
Manny, you have
Yeah.
to make sure that Siri is turned on.
So the S lady,
Right. Otherwise, she can't give you addresses or anything else.
Amazon
And
Alexa.
mine wasn't turned on.
oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You're
So
right.
Siri is the most important one besides Uber and Lyft.
That's right. And she's right. So of course the S lady needs it, Uber and Lyft, but everybody else, you should really check out the rationale or the reason that they want to use that, and make a judgment for yourself. And it's never a bad thing to just turn them off more and then have to go back and turn them on. It's better you turn them all off and then turn them on as you need. That's a better way to manage this.
Or you can just put on it, use only when the app is active.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I do with my stuff. So I'm not going to go through all the list here, but there's a bunch, and it's an alphabetical list of apps starting with A, app clips, all the way down to Zoom. So you can go to each one, and then you can determine right now, do I want to give that app in the future any of my location data? And typically you would say no, unless there's a compelling reason to turn it or keep it on. So, and again, that is accessibility, privacy and security, and then location services. It's a very important thing to keep track of it. You don't want to let that go and give everybody your location. That's not a good thing to do. Okay.
All right, it's 8:30. Do you have the one about correcting mistakes? The 3 ways you can correct mistakes.
We can go over that real quick. Let me.
Okay, it's 8:30. So, and that's the most important one: how you shake the phone if you make a mistake, and there's 2 other ways too.
Let's see here. Hang on a second. Let me just type that in here. Okay, so what Barbara's saying is when you need to undo something, there are 3 ways. I'm trying to remember all 3 ways now because I just use the shake of the phone typically for me. But there's a 3-finger thing we were talking about the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. But let me show you the shake to undo. We've done this a few classes ago, but I'll show it to you again.
8:33.
So you got to make sure that your shake to undo setting is turned on. And so let's find that setting.
8:33 p.m. Settings, location service, privacy and security, privacy. Settings. Back button. Settings. Settings. Heading. Search. Search field. Search field. Search field. Is it?
So I'm gonna search for shake to undo. Shake to undo.
Inserted shake to undo. Search results. Shake to undo. Accessibility right arrow touch.
So under the accessibility touch area, that's where the shake to undo
Shake
is.
to undo. Settings. Accessibility. Back button. Shake to undo. Switch button. On.
I have it on, and
Double
here's the
tap to toggle
explanation.
setting. If you tend to shake your iPhone by accident, you can disable shake to undo to prevent the undo alert from appearing.
So here's how this works.
Settings. Doc. Messages. 2 unread messages. Messages. Maggie hate message. Manny. Text field. Message. Text field. Is editing. Manny. Insertion point at end.
So I'm gonna reply to Maggie.
Y. N. And cap N.
And I'm not gonna send it. I'm just gonna put some bogus thing in there. So this is a mistake, comma, shake to undo, period.
Inserted this is a mistake. Shake to undo.
Now you take your phone and you shake
Period.
it. Oops, sorry. And you shake it
Message.
like that.
Alert. Undo typing.
And then you can undo it,
Cancel. Button.
or you can cancel and go back. I'm gonna undo it.
Undo. Button. Message. Oh.
And that's it.
Huh.
It just takes it. Now, what are the other two ways, Barbara? I'm trying to remember them, and I'm losing my thought. Do you remember what they were? I know there were two other ways.
The backspace.
I think isn't it 3 fingers, 1 tap?
We can try that. Let me try that.
Selection deleted. Period.
Let's see.
Oh. This is.
Now you can use backspace. That's another way to undo text that you've dictated. So let me try this 3-finger 1 tap. I'm gonna dictate the same thing in there and then do a 3-finger tap once. Let's try that. So undo this text.
Inserted undo this text.
Now it's 3 fingers once, you said?
Yeah, 3 fingers, tap 1.
Top of
Did
screen.
it do it?
Messages.
No. That's why I don't really know it that well. I really only do the shake, but I will put a pin in this, Barbara, and make sure that I investigate the other 2 ways. And I'm sorry I don't have them on top of my head.
That's okay. That's okay. That was really impressive with shaking the phone, and it took the message right out of the text.
Yeah, it completely undid it, like a Control Z on a Windows computer or something like that. So
I love you guys, but I need my phone back.
okay.
It's
All right,
8:30.
guys, I guess that's it. Thank you, John. Thank you, guys, and look forward to the next one. So
Thank you, Manny.
you're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you,
thanks.
John. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
The meeting. Hold F4. 1520 ***200 4. This meeting is being recorded.